We are Legion.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. Go ahead. It is Tuesday. That means it's new comic book day, version 1.0. I'm excited. I got to pick up my DC books today. There's a lot going on with the channel. I've got my main man with pots and pans, Ryan, over here to talk about some of the possibilities of DC's new Infinite Frontier. What came out today, what we look forward to, what we're hoping, what we expect to see. How's it going, Ryan?
Pretty good, man. I'm excited to see what you picked up.
I'm excited to read some of what I picked up. The only thing that I've read already, and I was talking to Ryan before I went live, was the Infinite Frontier issue number 0. That amazing wraparound cover, and it did not disappoint. And I know I'm DC biased about a lot of things, but I try to keep my expectations low with stuff that I read because I've learned that lesson a few times where I just had such high hopes, and I kind of played the story out in my head how I'd love to see it go, and it went nowhere near that, and it let me down. So I try to keep my expectations low, but knowing that this is just a setup book, that it goes through a lot of writers and artists checking in on all the characters where they're at currently, I was really, really impressed with where they're starting some of this stuff. It isn't like this tells an individual story in itself. It's just a big setup book on. It's basically like a classic formatted story version of a preview book. Wonder Woman and the Spectre is your guide through it. It has that Kingdom Come vibe to it where you're just chilling with the Spectre, vibing through the multiverse, checking in on everybody. But there's some really, really cool stuff coming up. I'm excited.
Sounds kind of like DC Rebirth.
And instead of following the Flash around trying to find his lightning rod. Yeah. I mean, you have to find well, that's what it is like.
Mm-hmm.
All the Flashes have their rod that tethers them, but this one won't make you cry like Rebirth will when Wally and Barry finally run into each other.
Oh my god, that artwork is forever emblazoned in my mind.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, Steve? We got Burke Family 54 Comics in here. Big shout out to him if you're watching this. Go check out his channel right now. Leave this stream. Go check his channel out. Find the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Enter in that because he's going live tonight to give away some awesome stuff, and then come back. Woot woot, says Ryan. I'm assuming to that idea. It's a good idea. Nefarious, how's it going, brother? We have Cult Fiction in the house. And we have the comic burritos popped in there. Hey-o! Good stuff, and that just hopped.
Hey.
I like how many compliments you get on that, man.
They all come from the burrito, though. I'm pretty sure that's cold. I'm pretty sure it's always the burrito.
Your pops needs to make him a bed. I think he's just low key trying to catch a sweet, handcrafted AOK bed frame.
Man, that'd be a pretty big shipping there.
Pickup only. Can you hear?
Can I hear? Yeah.
A lot of times when I plug this in, it automatically mutes itself, and it didn't do it that time.
Yeah, it sounds different for sure, but yeah, you're clear.
Worse or better? I was hoping to see that background noise.
Yeah, I mean, it just compresses it a bit, so it doesn't sound as roomy, but it's easier, more clear, I guess, is the best way to put it.
So, Infinite Frontier came out. This is another one I'm excited about, and this is where DC's kind of streamlining their stuff a little bit, even though they have a lot of titles dropping. This Crime Syndicate #1, it's already labeled as a limited series, so we're going to be seeing kind of more of that kind of stuff. Because I didn't know it ahead of time, but the one that I'm super excited about is also numbered a 10-issue series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's nice or not because I'm pumped for this, but you can always drag stuff out till it's not as quality as it was if you kept it short. So it's got its pros and its cons for me. So 2 limited series right out the gate today.
Yeah. I
Looking
like
at
that there's an ending in plan though. That always gives me more faith in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've said about Tom King. If you're not a fan of his Batman stuff, check out his limited run stuff and see how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, once I read like Batcat 3, I was like, "Oh yeah, I totally see why ongoing wouldn't work for Tom King cuz your audience never knows when something's going to finally happen, you know." But knowing that there's like 12 issues of Batcat, like it makes it so much fun cuz I'm willing to just float through the ether and hope that it makes sense by the end at some point, you know.
And from what I've seen, it normally does. It normally does. And after reading the couple of people what they had to say, like Justin Comics said it was good. I saw Austin LeMay mentioned that it was good, but Batman 106, and I love these minimal trade dress covers they're doing. These wraparounds, like Superman will have one,
Mhm.
Justice League will, Wonder Woman. Yeah,
It's really cool cuz it kind of gives us more of like it's an opportunity to give us some more of the universe, you know. Like show
yeah.
us all these characters and these character designs and stuff so we can start to get used to them. We'll be excited to see them when they show up.
And it's kind of a like there are a couple of new people that are pictured. You have Jace right there, front and center on the back. You have
Mhm.
Peacekeeper number one up there, who if you're a fan of Peacekeeper number one, or you care to keep up with his stuff or collect his stuff, or to know about him, make sure that you pick up this, because that was kind of that's a must-have for anybody that thinks that he's going to be a big deal or is just interested in him. But yeah, I'm going for all the wraparound covers when they come out.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Austin LeMay, what is going on, bud? I'm glad that you enjoyed Batman 106. I'm more excited for it now. Like I was talking to Ryan about how I'm not really excited about the Scarecrow being the first big villain that we deal with. I just feel like he's a throwaway villain for Batman. But after reading Infinite Frontier Zero and seeing how that they're playing into some recent events of Future State and bringing some concepts over and stuff, I'm more excited for it now. Tales of Suspense is in here. What is going on, buddy?
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of good people in here. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, Mike's in here. Did you see that? He just posted that picture about a collection he just packed up. I'm assuming that's one that he just bought.
Yeah, I saw it pop up. I haven't had time to look at it and see what all was in there.
Yeah, the new Scarecrow design is awesome. And I mentioned this Sunday. I'm hoping that with a writer like Tynan, that he might take a new approach with Scarecrow and not just play on the same old tropes of Scarecrows and find a different angle with him, because he needs a different angle to be entertaining at this point.
Well, I mean, he's done a great job with the atmospheric horror of Something is Killing the Children and Department of Truth. So I think if he could bring some of that energy to Scarecrow, that could be an interesting turn, you know?
Yeah,
Give us like some good gothic horror vibes for Batman. That'd be interesting.
it would make a lot of sense because a lot of it's horrific, and again that seems like the direction that they're going with it, because his parts of that intro book were the Gotham stuff was absolutely horrific, and yeah, I don't, again, no spoilers, but I was impressed with how they did it, and I'm openly critical about how Tynan's handled Batman up to this point, but it seems like with this starting point here, it's a good chance for him to really start opening wide open. He doesn't have an end cap in front of him right now. Let's see what he does with all this open road in front of him. And I did
Yeah,
not watch the rest of Superman Lois yet.
oh, yeah. I've been hearing good things about that show. It
Yeah,
would
I watched
also
the
be a
first
good
30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. I'm not like I was dog tired when I got off work from yesterday. Got in my sweatpants, ate a quick dinner, got in my 1952 Lazy Boy, balled up, and went to sleep. Woke up like 30 minutes later, didn't know where I was at, turned it on, and did not got 30 minutes this is amazing. And then I felt guilty because my wife was in bed. I'm like, Kyle's going to be so mad. We plan on watching this together, and there's no way I'm going to be able to pretend like I've not seen this. Because y'all might
Yeah.
watch something and then watch it again later, like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. There's no way. Like, she's going to be looking at me knowing like I'm a big Superman guy. You know, she's like, what's up?
No. If you think I picked something apart the first time I watch it, by the time I'm watching it with my wife the second time, I would just be like, this is terrible. All these problems. Watch, you're going to see in 10 minutes, they're going to mess everything up.
I'm not sure what part of the Infinite Frontier thing he wrote, but with how
But
horrific
yeah,
that was, that would make sense.
it's written in different sections, right? Like
Yeah,
different creative
it's
teams are on different sections of it.
it's just like Batman or Detective 1027 or any of those oversized specials. They get different artists and writers to come in. The Batman part is written by James Tynan.
I think it would be interesting too if Tynan could plan this out. So, Scarecrow is the villain, and let's turn it into something, and then the October issue could be like some kind of like massive, oversized Halloween kind of themed thing, to wrap that story arc. I think that would be a really cool play on their part if they pull that off.
That would be. Dude, I could have sworn I saw in the solicitation for this that Snyder was writing in this, and they don't have him credited in here in the front.
I thought I had seen his name on a social media post or something about it. Maybe like
Yeah,
a tweet from DC or something. So I think I know he's at least part of like the architects that are putting all this stuff together.
yeah, but
It's
here
like
in the
him, Williamson, and Tynion are
yeah,
kind of doing all the stuff,
without giving away that page, there's nothing special on that page, but he's not credited.
Hmm.
Williamson jumped on the Flash. That was cool. Becky Cloonan, who did the Future State stuff, was on the Wonder Woman one. Jolie Jones was still on Wonder Girl. Tynan and Alan Scott one, which was cool to get some JSA love in there, which is awesome. It was a really cool moment between Obsidian, Jade, and their dad, who they didn't know till they were adults. It was a really cool moment, especially if you know like the history of Obsidian, like a little bit of how they played with him in like 2007 and 8. Like it really made the moment a lot more impactful for Alan Scott fans. That's always been my favorite Green Lantern. And, it was cool to see him being brought back into the forefront. Hopefully they keep him in the forefront a little bit, especially with the JSA animated movie dropping soon.
Yeah.
That genre shift works so well for the Immortal Hulk series. They need to
Mhm.
branch out with these people more.
I like what Tulp Fiction's saying here. I want to see Scarecrow take apart Batman's mind like Bane broke his back. I would be into that. Like if he psychologically dismantles Bruce to the point that he is like afraid again, that would be interesting. If he could take and turn all of those things that like Bruce has never really dealt with a lot of this stuff. He's just compartmentalized. So to be able to really truly see Bruce curl up in a ball on the floor from the fear of the night his parents were murdered or something, like that would be an interesting way to build up to something.
Well, here's the catch to that. How many times does that happen?
Who knows?
Exactly.
I haven't read enough Batman to know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Every time the Scarecrow's in anything, he's got to cry about his parents, which is understandable. It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what Burrito's saying here, that it was listed on League of Comic Geeks, which I'm aware of too, because when I made these notes for my video 2 weeks ago, Snyder's name was the top creator name I listed for Infinite Frontier. So I don't know why he's not inside the actual book. That is weird. The Joker series is going to be awesome. I've mentioned that one. Even shared a couple of covers from it not too long ago,
Yeah.
and I hope that they handle that like a Black Label series. That's a good point.
Yeah.
The psychological thing. Yeah, he just dealt with dead parents, literal dead parents.
Yeah, I mean that's the other problem that I have with where the Batman universe is right now is they're trying to turn Joker into every villain. Like he has to like be as broad as possible, so he's just like running into other people.
I think it's cool how the city is reacting to the Joker. The price tag for which book? The Infinite Frontier one.
$25.99.
Most of these books, to all those people complaining about DC's new model, $3.99, $3.99, $3.99. Also picked up Suicide Squad, which I'm very excited about.
I've seen
Peacemaker's never.
positive things about that one too.
Yeah, Peacemaker's never been like on anybody's top 3 list ever, but he's a cool character, you know what I mean? And he's always just looked intriguing. You don't really care what he has going on in his life. But now that he's being spotlighted in other areas, and John Cena just seems like he fits the optics for him personally. So definitely excited to actually see what this character is all about for the first time. I mean, I've been aware of him since I'm a kid. I've got like the DC trading card sets and he's in there, but I just never cared. But it's cool to care. It's a new character I haven't ever dived into.
Yeah.
I did get the cover, and so I think this one's $1 more. So yeah, the cover B, the wraparound, which these B covers are traditionally more expensive, is $4.99. A whopping $4.99. I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
And that's a thicker comic too. And
little rich for my blood.
I know, right? And then Infinite Frontier, which I think is like a 68-page book.
64, isn't it? Well,
60.
probably
64
who's
and
counting?
some
Ads. Yeah.
Who's counting? You know what I mean? But it's a whopping $5.99 for a 64-page book that takes you about a good half hour to read. That's not bad. So none of them hit that $7.99, $8.99 price tag that was happening during Future State.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think what they were trying to do with Future State was a
Recoup.
good it was a good prototype. I would like to see that model continue in some way, but they just need to find the right balance. Maybe an extra $1 for 2 backup stories, or $2 for 2 stories, or some way to help like kind of elevate and give some credit to these up and comers, so that you don't keep having to like cycle through this bank of like superstars, and then you kind of go through a drought, and then you get some more superstars, and then you go through a drought.
Mm-hmm. Now, if I remember correctly, yes. So this point in Batman, that's where the story splits, because this is one. All that is the Robin backup story. Now I know that I think Damien's supposed to be getting his own standalone title soon, but they do have him as a backup story in this. Which, if you get the cover A, which I was torn because it was a yellow background cover. I love yellow background, but it's one of the wraparounds to match. But it does say on that yellow background featuring backup story Robin. But it is nice not to see the price jacked up on them with it. I mean, despite it making sense or not, or me, if I still pick it up or not, I still rather pay less if possible.
Mm-hmm.
So the LCS also today donated to the cause, and when it's giveaway time, I always kind of look around for some stuff that might be hot, that I can still catch at cover price, some stuff that might have legs down the road, so I can give a decent prize and not have to break the bank doing it. These giveaways, they add up really fast for me. And I got a copy of Star Wars The High Republic Adventures #1, because I know that Star Wars stuff is hot.
Yeah.
That I'll be giving away. And everyone might be saying, but that's not the one that's hot. It's the other one that's hot. Well, I went to the counter with the other one, and it was I think it was a second print cover. That's all he had. And I told him I want to use these as the giveaway. He said, oh, well, hold on. And he reached under the counter and pulled up one he had stashed as his reader copy that he just hadn't got around to reading yet. And there's that first print cover A.
Nice.
So I'll be giving those away.
Yeah, that's a good deal there.
Yeah. So a big thank you to the Augusta Book Exchange for supplying these books for the giveaway for everybody that watches and supports the channel. This is their way of saying thank you as well. Mike, that's something that you got to take up with the Down Unders, not with the DCs. I definitely understand your grievance.
Yeah.
So how much is $3.99 down under? Like how much of a difference does the actual dollar cost getting to you?
Them dollar dues just
Dollar reduce.
aren't as useful as these regular dollars.
Appreciate that, Austin. I hope they go to a good home. I definitely wouldn't mind having one for the collection, but I wasn't getting it anyways. I wasn't stressing, speculating
Seven
on
ninety
Star
five.
Wars. That's more than $1 difference.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like you really have to make a tight judgment calls on what should I read digitally or what should I put in the PC
Yeah.
when it's transmitted like that.
What's the cost on a digital book? Is it different enough to make that a viable option? Like for us, it costs the same price, so it really just matters if you want a physical copy or not.
Yeah.
But I don't know how taxes affect it since there's no real shipping on it and stuff in a digital version.
Just watched Nuclear Power Plant Superman Lois, Great New Beginning. I haven't watched it all yet. I watched the first 30 minutes, so please don't talk beyond the nuclear power plant. I did watch a little bit past that because that's toward the really, really beginning, but it was so good. Like I'm Superman biased, and that
No,
might be why I loved it. But yeah, but you have it's just a Superman Easter egg wet dream for the first 20 minutes. You have a callback to the old Fleischer Brothers animated Superman. What
oh,
he's
cool.
talking about, the plant. There's a callback to the Chris Reeve Superman where he freezes a lake, picks it up, and takes it over the factory and melts it over the factory. He does that with the nuclear power plant. There's a callback to the Brandon Roth Superman Returns when he lifts the island up out of the water.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the new one, he freezes a chunk of the ocean, cracks it, and just flies up. When he comes up, they use like the same camera shot of him sitting there under it with it bending his head down, pushing it up. And there's a
Oh,
scene
yeah.
where he's in his house on the phone with his mom, and behind him they have like a little note board for their house stuff, and it says Dr. Donner on it. It says Siegel on it. So you got the director of the Chris Reeves movies listed. You have one of the co-creators of Superman listed. It was just awesome. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, that, yeah, come on with it. The
Wow.
interaction, Superman and Lois's interaction meeting in this was just like it was in the Chris Reeves one. It was just delightful to watch. It was a great, great start to it. And I was
This
wondering
seems
how
to
I
be the
would,
consensus.
which is good because that's not normally the consensus for the CW stuff. This
That's not
feels
normally the consensus on anything Superman since like Christopher Reeve's movie.
very true. There's a lot of people divided on Man of Steel still, but there were a
Mm-hmm.
lot more divided back when it first came out. But after people sat on it and rewatched it, and like this was a lot better than I gave it credit for at first.
Well, I think Batman versus Superman proved that Man of Steel was a little better than we thought.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you, Mr. Burrito. Superman Returns, people still pretty divided about that one. Superman, the animated series from the 90s, divided.
Oh, I loved it. I like
I hear
how
people all the time talk about how shoddy the quality was compared to everything else they were doing.
might be the case. I like to
But I
congratulate
enjoyed
him.
it. It's one of the Supermans that made me actually kind of like Superman. There's no way
Appreciate
anybody
that, Mike.
could deny Clancy Brown as Lex Luthor. That was perfect.
Yeah, his voice is amazing. He does iconic roles like in Starship Troopers. He was iconic. He got the
Mm-hmm.
brain bugs. No. In Pet Cemetery 2, when he kills his stepson with the dirt bike, he's just an awesome actor.
Yeah.
I think the second episode comes out today or something.
The second episode of the
Superman and Lois. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh wow.
Which tonight me and my
Yesterday
wife
was
will
the
be
premiere,
watching that
right?
first one. No, dude. I've been talking about the second episode or the first one.
The first one.
Dude, I DVR'd the first one like right close to a week ago. I think that Steve was talking about
Oh,
it last Thursday even. And it's
I
funny when I
didn't
went
think
to
it
watch it, I
aired until
realized
yesterday.
when I went to watch it, I noticed that my DVR recorded it from TNT because I don't pick what channel I'm recording it from because I have YouTube TV. I just look up
Yeah.
the show and say like put it in the library. I don't
Oh,
know.
the Flash is back today as well.
A lot of good stuff starting. Williamson did write the Flash stuff in the
Yeah, I
Infinite,
saw his name on there.
which
I
was
also
awesome.
I'm also hearing that he's got a Green Arrow series coming out, so that would be cool.
Green Arrow is and Canary are spotlighted in there too. I didn't really think about that if he was going to have his own show or not, but or own series or not. But it makes sense now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to do the Green Arrow and Black Canary one, and at least that's what I'm hearing. I don't think DC's confirmed though. But assuming that's true, I think Green Arrow would be a great character. Like Williamson writes like classic superhero stories, but they feel modern and updated. And I really like that. And Green Arrow is one of those characters, at least in the comics, he always feels like classic and traditional, you know? It'll be a
Yeah,
great way for Williamson to take over a good property for himself.
he's a good street level hero, and I don't know how long it's been since he's had like a big spotlighted run or anything. I think was it Kevin Smith that had him for a while, some time ago.
No, really? I don't.
I'm not 100%.
I know I've read a little bit of. I've read something Kevin Smith did, but I haven't read a ton of his comics.
Yeah, I think he's really hit or miss.
Oh, I
I know
read
he did
his.
a lot of stuff for Dynamite for a while, like Green Hornet or something.
I was gonna say I read the Green Hornet because he like wrote a movie script for it. There was gonna be like Jay and Silent Bobby, and they never made it. So he like had the script, the movie script. He turned it into a graphic novel or a trade or something, and I read that. It was pretty good. I don't know that. I don't know. It probably would have been better than what we got. So,
I
but it
enjoyed
still
that.
wasn't at the
The,
height of his writing. You know.
the first time I watched that, I'm like, what did they do to Green Hornet? But now I just watch it as a straight up comedy, and it's enjoyable. It's not a good
Yeah,
movie.
it was a little too Seth Rogen-y, you know.
It was full Seth Rogen. He just
Yeah.
was half his normal size.
That's true.
He lost all that weight, and Gina Carano found it. That was mean. That was mean.
Nice.
Dang. What's going on, Immortal Biggie Shack?
Yay.
We're gonna have to hop on here one time and chat up some books. Had fun hanging out with him at like Dark 30 in the AM on the Whack Comic stream.
Man, I tell you, Flash Rebirth was great.
Poor Gina. Ouch. You know what's funny is I got that from my 94-year-old grandmother years ago. She passed away in 1913, but one of my mom's dearest friends is a bigger woman, and we were all at a family get together at my grandma's house. My great grandma, she weighed all of like 90 pounds and just sitting there with her hands in her lap, all polite, just enjoying being in people's company while they're all talking. And my mom's friend goes to brag. She goes, "Yeah, and I've lost 20 something pounds." And my granny, who hadn't said a word in an hour, just sits up and goes, "Well, turn around and you'll find it." just baptized her just like that.
Wow. Always got the wit.
Yeah. She'll talk like she got something to say, you know what I mean? It was hilarious.
All right.
What do you plan on picking up or looking forward to reading this week?
Man, I have a lot to read this week.
All
I
right,
still
well,
need
keeping it on point. We'll start with DC. What are you DCing?
Probably everything. No. Let's see. Batman 106, I'm going to pick up. I made my peace with that, which I hear it's better. And I know it's going to get better, but it just, I don't know. Those 5 issues just really burnt a lot of my Batman favor. I'm going to check out Crime Syndicate. You seem really excited about it. I don't have any clue what to expect. Infinite Frontier, of course. Suicide Squad. Future State Suicide Squad was interesting. I know they're not like truly connected, but there's like some seeds and stuff there. But
it seemed like nothing but a tease of what's to come. I didn't feel like it had really its own story to it.
Yeah, but I am interested in Suicide Squad now. You know, it at least did enough to like stir up my interest in that property because I've never really cared about Suicide Squad or anything. You know, So I think and then of course Swamp Thing. I mean, I've been waiting for this for like 2 months now.
I'm sorry, my LCS is messaging me.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm very pumped for Swamp Thing as well.
Yeah.
Again,
That's
I had mixed emotions
probably
when I saw that limited number, and I'm like, there it is. No. Oh, that's okay, but no.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, like Ron V's probably going to be writing a couple little loose threads here and there anyway. So if it does amazing, maybe they'll give him another run. You know, do 5 more or 6 more or something. You know.
I feel like this is definitely a step up from Catwoman, you know, in terms of like the way that the fans pick it up or the expected sales number they're giving him. I feel like that's a promotion to go from writing Catwoman to getting Catwoman and Swamp Thing. That's definitely a step in the right direction for someone like me who just really discovered him in Future State, but I'm very excited to see him work with so many characters.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how Reed was with his Catwoman run, but the Future State, he touched a lot of Batman characters, you know, between Bruce, Talia, Catwoman herself, playing with onomatopoeia, and just taking out, you take mundane characters, and you're like, dude, I need more of him.
Right? Oh my god, that character needs to stick around. Yeah, I mean, Justice League versus Suicide. Oh,
that was that rebirth. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think like he was writing Catwoman when Joker War was happening and all that, and that's what people were saying was like their favorite issue was the Catwoman one.
That's funny. I didn't pick up the Batgirl or the Catwoman or the Nightwing for the Joker War tie-ins. I was just on the main two because I already get Detective, and obviously Batman was garbage.
Obviously, if we haven't made that point yet,
we're going to continue to make that point. But the sad thing is, and you point this out too, like how people would rather just keep complaining about Batman than go pick up other titles when there's so much out there. So I make sure to do my part to pick up other titles so that I can still complain about Batman quality.
Yeah. I think what DC should start doing is just putting Batman on every cover. Just put him on every cover. Because that's why they only do Batman is because all the spec buyers are buying 5 copies of anything with a Batman character on the front of it. So screw it. Wonder Woman can have Batman on the front. Green Arrow can have Batman on the front. Just put Batman on the cover of everything and don't put him in any of the stories. I guarantee you in like 10 to 12 months we're going to see a huge shift in the market where all the readers are finally picking up all these other characters and they can get some shine, you know, but
that would be cool. Like
they
you
just want to make Batman.
Everything is bagged and boarded and just Batman covers. And don't even do multiple covers. It's the same cover.
No.
this LCS promise usually.
We just got banned. I think it's a perfect idea. Put Batman on the front. All the spec buyers will buy them up, and then we'll get more of all these other characters. Give Blue Beetle like 6 series and put Batman on the cover instead, and boom, we'll have Blue Beetle everywhere.
Well, I don't know how many people read the Future State stuff with Gold Beetle, which was like a descendant of Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, like how their friendship spans like over the decades, spans relationships between people that were related to him down the line, and you end up getting Gold Beetle, who is a cool character, part of the Linear Men stuff. I'm expecting to see her come out of the Future State stuff and into the Infinite Frontier, which is awesome because you know they announced that Blue Beetle movie. I'm hoping to see more Booster and Ted Cord. Burkus or something like that.
We'll put Power Rangers on one cover for Steve.
Mike, are y'all able to get digital releases the day of? Like if you did, it wasn't something that you bought physically or you didn't know or you just wanted to read it and didn't want to wait, or do you have access to like read them digitally the same day as release? I really just am so green to how the release stuff works outside of my little bubble. Because I know that certain apps aren't available all over the world that we have available to us and vice versa.
Yeah, the conversation I had last night that'll be coming out next Tuesday. Um, the guy he's American. He like lives in California and stuff, but he's going to school in France right now. And so like he's living over there, and so that was one thing that we got to talk a lot about is like how France consumes media and their spoiler culture and stuff, and the way that they view books and comics and TV versus us, and so that's going to be a really cool part of the discussion for everybody to check out to find out what it's like around the world for comic readers.
See, this is what makes the conversations worth having. You don't want to just sit in a room with everyone just ego stroking the same book. That's what makes it fun.
That's true.
There's stuff
Uh,
that I
I
enjoy.
like whenever I'm like, woohoo, firepower, and then Mark's in the chat like,
I'm just sitting there dead quiet. I was hoping no one would call on me. Seems like, all right, Mark, what'd you think? And like 4 people just saying its praises. I'm like, let me pull the sword out. I made Austin LeMay proud, I found out. So that was worth it. Flash by Night, how's it going, man? Glad you can stop by. Just talking Infinite Frontier and the controversial opinions of us versus others.
Right?
Yeah, it's different people like different stuff, man, for different reasons. I was talking to Chaos yesterday after you mentioned he liked Tom King. I messaged him like, so you're a King fan? And we were talking about
Not
necessarily.
at all.
Yeah, no, it's not. Not for a King fan to have another King fan say, so you're a King fan. You're like, why, yes.
Been waiting.
yeah. So we meet. But yeah, he was just talking about like people talking more about people liking or disliking it, like the way that older readers who like and dislike him perceive it versus younger readers who like and dislike him perceive it. There's it's like 4 categories of people and fans. You have new readers that enjoy it, new readers that don't, and then old readers that enjoy it, and old readers that don't. And hearing those different perspectives on it is really cool.
Yeah. He's Chaos is interesting because he's been reading forever, but he also likes to be chaotic. So
Yeah,
he'll stir the pot
that's
just for the
fun.
sake of stirring the pot.
Well, that's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried digital, but it doesn't compare to smelling the pages. I 100% agree. But what I've come to find out, because I have the DC Universe app since it came out, and I would just want to read back issues for stuff. Like I would just, something pops in your head, you see something that's older, or you just don't have it or something. So I got used to also being able to read it, and I don't read them on my phone if I can help it. Phone is just not enjoyable. But if you have a tablet, like I have a tablet that's it was close to the same size as this, and you just turn the page.
The 7-inch tablets are about the same size as the comic. I like 12-inch tablets even better because it gives you a slightly oversized zoom version of it, But I can't do it on my phone. Like I have a Note, like it's a fairly large phone, and it's still just not enough screen real estate to get all the bubbles and stuff the right size to be legible. But I like it more and more. The process is always getting better. I will say, like horror comics. Oh my god, man! You turn off all the lights and turn down the AC and maybe
How
put
do you
on some
see the
light
book?
music and put it on the tablet. Boom, good to go.
Oh yeah, I'll sit there in bed and read the tablet. I learned the hard way early on that you have to turn that brightness down.
Oh yeah.
God, I didn't
You turn it
realize
down
that.
as low as you can go. Yeah.
And
It'll burn your eyes.
at one point it got to where when I would fire up those apps, it would dim it itself. JT4 can walk circles around Tom King. Yeah, but can he write circles around him? On Batman, I think that's a fair false statement that they both have dropped the ball in areas and they both have had strength in areas. But I think that's just the nature of writing those ongoing characters where you just have to churn it out. I have high hopes for what he can do now that he doesn't have that timeline wall in front of him where we knew Future State was coming. Because I'm pumped for Clown Hunter. I think that's the coolest thing he's done.
I mean, a majority of writing is planning. You plan, and then you execute. So that's where I really take big issue with like 5 issues of garbage. Like Tynion knew this was coming. He knew he was going to have 2 months of no Batman to leave us all waiting on something to come back to. Why did they squander that across 5 issues of nothing? Nothing, absolutely nothing. They could have done 5 awesome issues of mystery, and they're like just about to reveal Ghostmaker, and you're like all into it, and then they're like, now you got to wait until March for it to come back. I would have been there. I would have so been there, but they were just like, what? Who cares? It's just 5 issues. Why would you waste all that time?
Emma.
Why wouldn't you have a writer come in and plan out, just a couple of issues to get you from here to there to really set something up to launch into in March,
I don't know. I mentioned it before.
Seems like they did zero
story arc
planning
with
about
Clown Hunter about to kill Harley. Like that was the perfect moment. It was only like 4 pages before the ruined ending, where you had Harley strapped down, come to find out willingly strapped down, letting it play out. But yeah, that would have been a cool cliffhanger.
Like
I love cliffhangers.
I don't understand at what point they decided we're going to take 2 months to do Future State and then we're going to do something else, because they should have like planned for that. They should have been like, okay, and we're going to have 2 months off where it's all different stuff. Other teams are working on that. You guys focus on setting up what we're going to launch into with Infinite Frontier, but everything wrapped up as if they didn't even know that Infinite Frontier was coming at the time. That's right. Yell at them kids. Yell at them kids. Oh, why not tell you?
He's not my child.
She's about to tell you to go get a Switch.
No, the little one's getting wild, and I have my oldest here hanging out with me, and I keep asking her to grab the kid. She goes, "This ain't my child." So that's your sister. It comes with the territory. Hold on 1 second.
Oh Lord. Abuse. Who has CPS on speed dial? Maybe one of his kids is like Jack. Like Finn's just gonna like pimp slap him through the wall or something, Oh, what's going on now? Ooh, this is getting out of hand. Hey, what's up, Las Cruces? I'm trying to hold it down. I really don't know what else to say other than duck and cover. Is he going to be all bloody with a bandage? He's going to sit down and his arm's going to be all like... So, how's Tuesday going? Who picks up... Here's what I want to know. Who picks up DC Comics on Tuesday? Is it only Mark? Because that's kind of my working theory right now. I don't know anybody else that goes on Tuesday. Everybody picks up their books on Wednesday or Friday or Saturday. Such a weird guy. Uh-oh. Yeah, I agree, Austin. I refuse to go pick them up on a Tuesday. Only Mark.
Only Mark what?
I asked who actually picks up their DC books on Tuesday and who just waits to get them on Wednesday.
I work Wednesdays. I would still go on Tuesdays, though.
Oh, man. That's pretty fortunate, Freaky Louie.
Tuesday night after close?
Yeah. Drive an hour to get your book, Southern Comic Geek? My store is like 17 miles from my house, and it takes a good like 30 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic.
The kids were in trouble. They were calm when this started 44 minutes ago. But
not gonna lie, In my house, the kids are in trouble usually includes me somehow.
Yeah, well, that's same here, but the wife's at work. So I'm just like, I feel like P.T. Barnum when she's at work. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go wrangle
Oh,
kids with my 13. What? Plug
have
it.
you watched? Oh, okay. Have you watched Flora and Ulysses?
Yeah. Yeah. The little squirrel
Yeah,
movie. It was so good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We put it on the other day. Man, that movie was awesome. I was really impressed. I didn't think it was going to be much of anything, but pretty good.
DC releases on Tuesdays now, Rob. Since the pandemic, they don't use Diamond Publishing anymore. They use Lunar, and they release books on Tuesday.
Skipping
But
over some turmoil there, but yeah. They use Lunar.
go ahead, tell me the turmoil.
Well, they were going through two different companies because they couldn't keep it all together.
Yeah,
Then they had to turn around, terminate a contract because
well, from what
conflict of interest.
what their little thing that they put out was, which I'm sure that that's more accurate if you go down that rabbit hole versus what their statement was. It was like after so many months of using these two companies, this company seemed to be the more viable one. We've had less delays and less reported damages with them, so we are now going to be going fully with Lunar from here on out. Which that's the press release.
Yeah, it just seems like it would have been more logical to go with Lunar from the beginning. I wouldn't be surprised if they thought they were going to use both forever, and then they realized there was like too many issues with that. But yeah, I mean, they could have just went with Lunar from the beginning. Everybody knew Midtown was going to stack their comics. Who gets the best copies? Our customers get the best copies.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of comics they're distributing. I feel like there should be enough for everybody to get decent copies.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's crazy to think that actual stores are holding the shipping contracts for every other store in the world.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy to think that there's only one company up until a year ago that distributed comics for the whole industry. Like,
Yeah.
how? How did we get to that point?
Yeah, I've seen the spreadsheets. Someone posted a spreadsheet before. I mean, you can go online and look at Diamond's website and get the information.
Yeah, their reputation isn't exactly hidden.
Yeah.
But a big part of the reason they get away with a lot of this kind of stuff is because they're a monopoly. There was never any competition.
That seemed like a very one-sided hello right there.
There's somebody else on this channel right now? What?
Yeah. All right, well, I'm about to go hang out with these kids some more. This is going for 47 glorious minutes. I'm glad everyone stopped by. I hope y'all are able to make it out to your shop tomorrow. Support those local comic shops, those razor-thin margins. They need your help. And, yeah, hope y'all have a good one. I will be doing my official 500 subscriber entry video some point today or at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I'll post it tomorrow at 7 a.m. and show off what prizes I'll be giving away and how to enter and win. But yeah, like I do have these right here in arm's reach. These are donated from the LCS today. That's that Star Wars High Republic Adventures #1 with IDW, as well as the Star Wars High Republic #1 from Marvel, which is a current speculator's wet dream right here. So I know there's 50 million covers out there. Not sure which one your flavor is, but at least we Lucretius. Hey man, I appreciate that. Yes, the scales are balanced again.
Right.
But yeah, so I have that as well as there will be a slab in the giveaway. I've got that first appearance of Clown Hunter as well as his origin in Batman Annual 4. So I try to get some stuff that obtainable for me, but it might have some legs down the road. Hopefully it'll play out so people enjoy the characters. If they don't have it, it's a great one to have. If they do have it, it's great to have too.
Heck yeah.
Kenneth Bird, my man. Glad you were able to stop by. But yeah, everybody, y'all have a good night. Be on the lookout for that video tomorrow. Be sure to go over to New Guy Ryan's channel. Give him a subscribe. He's got content dropping nonstop. You can find him on every platform that's been invented, and he's most active on MySpace these days. He is giving it a hard comeback. He refuses to give up. What's his name? Jeff, everyone's first friend on MySpace.
Tom.
Tom. He
Where'd you
refuses
get
to give
Jeff?
up. I don't know. It's been that long since I've been on. You're the only person I know that still pushes MySpace this hard, man. But he refuses to give up on his friend Tom.
MySpace, Zynga, LiveJournal, and then Twitter and Instagram way down at the bottom.
And he keeps track of all of his notifications on his Zune device.
Oh my God.
So thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time. As always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.